Hey guys, what's up? Spectre here, and recently a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, was announced. I'm here to bring you up to speed on the latest title from Hardsuit Labs and Paradox Interactive. There's a lot to sink our teeth into, so let's begin. First, for the uninitiated, I guess I should fill you in. What exactly is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? Well, it's an RPG originally from Troika Games and Activision, based on a tabletop game. Kind of like another game I've been covering. In it, you must choose sides between warring vampire factions as they vie for control over their seedy underworld. Vampires in this series don't sparkle, but instead use a wide range of supernatural powers to stalk prey and one another. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 takes place years after the original in a fully realized sequel. You'll be dropped into the dark underbelly of Seattle this time around. After a mass embrace or wide-scale assault on the living, you're a human quickly transitioning to a bloodsucker. This unprecedented attack on humans threatens the many undead factions of the city and turns everything upside down. As the player, you must take sides in a war centuries older than yourself and make a mark on the city. Player choice will be important, as Bloodlines 2 will be a classical style RPG, something they're not shying away from, but charging straight into. When asked why they were going in this direction in an interview with DualShockers, the game's creative director stated, "It was wanting to move things back towards that RPG and storytelling side. Those types of games, immersive sims, action RPGs, and the things that give a lot of player agency and choice are awesome. Whatever kind of vampire you want to be, you can specialize that kind of way. We're not going into detail on what kind of clans you can be from the very start, but it's about what kind of player are you and can you build towards that. Rather than specialize in equipment and gear and loot, it's very much a customization and personalization of the player and how they affect the world." Unlike the original, players won't have to specialize in specific weapons anymore, but will instead select from a wide variety of vampiric powers and supernatural abilities. Some of these are telekinesis, transforming into vapor, or even vaulting over large gaps by turning into a cloud of bats. The focus seems to be on variety in skills and character builds, which devs say offer almost innumerable possibilities. You'll also create your own character, choosing your background and making decisions about who you were before you were turned. You'll also be choosing which clan to side with in the aforementioned ancient conflict. In terms of gameplay and in-game systems, it seems that Bloodlines 2 is taking a non-linear, semi-open world approach. While not entirely clear at this point, it seems that there will be large hub areas, densely packed with NPCs and things to do, connected by the labyrinthian back alleys and underground sewers of Seattle. And while the story will deliver a sense of passage of time, we'll mostly be experiencing this world at night, which is admittedly fitting for a vampire game. Another staple of any vampire game, drinking blood. You'll be able to consume bagged blood if you're going for a pacifist playthrough, but you'll likely want the real stuff. In Bloodlines 2, you'll not only consume the life essence of your victims, but different stats from them as well. Feeding off certain NPCs can offer certain buffs and debuffs. You won't only be feeding off NPCs, but you'll also be forming relationships with them. Developers were coy about the depth of relationships, however, so those details remain to be seen. Brian Mitsoda, the game's writer and the writer of the original Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, had this to say. "A whole lot of the game is just going out in the world and getting involved with the people there, going to the bar and socializing, making contacts, figuring out how you can play people to your benefit. That's what you do as a vampire. You're not just skulking in the sewers, you're not in a dungeon or something like that, you're in the world around people. You're mostly around humans. There aren't nearly as many vampires as there are people." Hardsuit Labs founder Andy Kipling followed that up with, "It also empowers the player's agency too, in terms of how they want to move through the world and interact with the world in terms of being that monstrous vampire, or playing to the more human social side of it, engaging." They were also coy about the kind of supernatural beasts that could be lurking in the shadows of Bloodlines 2, saying, "We can't be specific about what you might encounter right now, but I will say that it is the world of darkness, and not just Vampire the Masquerade." Hardsuit Labs seems to be bringing old-school RPG mechanics and techniques into the current gen, but we won't be playing it until Q1 of 2020. The game will be available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and will reportedly feature mod support. Has it got your attention? Are you looking forward to jumping into the blood-soaked underworld of Seattle? Are you as thrilled as I am about vampires being cool again and not brooding and sparkly? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to sub for more coverage, and as always, thanks for watching, guys.